If you haven't lost feeling in one of your fingers yet, you haven't lived.
Welcome to the Dinnernet with Mark and Meg, the only podcast in Seattle that knows whether or not they have the permits to serve sushi.
They don't. Today, our guest is Chef Lakea Osias, owner of popup and catering company Lakea Cooks, and generally hilarious friend. How you doing, Lakea?
Hello, good.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
It was good. I feel like all days start to blend together, and I'm like, what did I do this weekend?
Yeah.
Was it the weekend or was it Thursday and Wednesday? I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Felt like my weekend.
Did you go anywhere?
I usually like to go to the flight path on Thursdays. It's kind of an older people
Where's
hang
that?
out.
I've heard of that.
In that general area of Burien, West Seattle, and White Center.
Okay.
And on Thursdays, they have live music karaoke.
Oh,
and
great.
these people, the band, first of all, can play anything. They're super talented.
Okay.
And the people who get up there are super talented.
Yeah.
Pretty much, if you don't got it, don't get up there. And it's a person who can sing. I have not gotten up the courage yet, and I go all the time.
Really?
Are you serious?
You're a
that's-
great singer. I should add that all three of us are karaoke enthusiasts. And so
That's-
at your level, you're still intimidated.
I am.
That's how good it is.
I actually finally put my name in this time, and I haven't had the courage to. And then it was just taking a long time. So I was like 4 drinks in at this point. I was like, hey, I don't think I'm going to remember the words. I'm just not going to do it.
Can we all go to the spot?
I feel like we should. The
Mark,
flight path.
none of us
Yeah.
drive, by the way.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so
I'm
it's
so
hard
glad
for
to
us
meet
to
my
all
people.
go. Yeah. It's a waste of money, man. But yeah, we're all avid singers. Mark, when's the last time you went to karaoke?
It's been a while. I think it's been about a month. I think last
Yeah.
time I went was Hattie's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On my birthday?
I think, well,
No.
a time after that.
Time after that. Mark's a crooner, so Mark sings like Roy Orbison and
I like that.
and beautifully so. You know what song? I wanted to go to karaoke this weekend, but Steven had oral surgery, so we stayed in and
Oh, yeah.
made smooth foods for him, like
What did you make?
red pepper bisque, and we made ice cream. We made more ice cream.
That sounds nice.
We
Red
made-
pepper bisque.
It was nice. It was
I'm
creamy.
sure other people who are eating smooth foods when they have oral
Yeah.
surgery are not having red pepper
Steven's
bisque.
a good. Steven could have been a chef. He probably should be a chef still. He had kids really young, and he was like, we were on food stamps and WIC, and I was just like, if we have to eat this shitty food, I'm gonna make it good. Like I'm gonna figure out how to
kind of
make
where
it
all
taste
good
good.
food comes from.
I gotta make meals for these kids a couple times a day. I'm just gonna make it good. So he's talented. We made really creamy, gushy mac and cheese. You know, he's not supposed to chew, but he can like
Yeah.
duck it down. He said like a duck, like
like a pelican.
yeah, right. All of that is to say, I wanted to go to karaoke.
Do they give you the lyrics at the flight path?
No.
Oh, you
Oh, you have to know it.
Oh,
You got to be
shit.
ready
You
to
gotta have your phone.
be with a live band.
Yeah.
Okay.
In front of all these old, like, I don't know how to describe them, but like, I hesitate to say this, like old school pimp style.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
People got their Stacey Adams on. People are dressed up,
Yeah.
looking good, you know? It's very old school. So, man, these women got up and they just start coordinating a dance together. And I was like, yeah,
Whoa, are you serious?
I'm not doing that.
This is important. Is the food any good? Like, should we review it or something?
I actually never end up
Yeah,
eating
I
anything on there. I'm just,
It's not that kind of bar.
people eat stuff. I'm just, by the time I get there, I'm just there to drink.
Yeah.
The drinks are great for sure. I just put bar food, wings,
We gotta
burgers.
go. We gotta go.
Seriously.
I'm into it.
You would love it. It's fun. I mean, there's the regulars and like some of these people, they're so talented. It's insane.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, you're there to watch it like a real show.
Mark, what'd you do this weekend?
I went to the Tractor Tavern.
You went to a real
and
show?
I did. I went to an actual show. It wasn't karaoke, but it was SML. It's a sort of jazz electronic band out of LA.
Okay.
And they were cool as shit. It was guitar, bass, drums, saxophone, and then analog modular synthesizer. So they were doing like futurist jazz shit, and it was real atmospheric and
Love it.
And also energetic too. It was rad.
I'm gonna look it up. We should put it on.
I want to know what that sounds like. I don't know what you just said.
I know,
was
it's sort
like,
of like
wait,
alphabet
what?
soup, SML,
Yeah,
LA
yeah.
style. Yeah.
They had a ton of effects pedals, so the sax player was kind of running his saxophone through like echo and chorus and loop stuff, and the guitarist had a ton of effects too. The synth player was kind of making these kind of blippy bloopy repeated phrases happen.
Okay.
It was real
Blippy and
interesting.
bloopy.
Nice.
Yeah, real like textured and like kind of soundtracky sometimes, and Also, really engaging too. It wasn't
I
like
would like to hear it.
Yeah,
It
we
sounds
should.
interesting.
I wonder if on Instagram there's a song we can append to
Yeah.
the, am I using that word right? To the post when the show's done.
I bet there is.
We'll look.
Yeah, and then Marisa Anderson opened, and she's a solo guitarist. She plays an electric guitar with like a finger pick style.
Okay.
So she has that way of making a guitar sound like two guitars in one, but she's just one person.
Cool.
And kind of has like this folky, like international folk style. So she was doing like
I know what you
Pakistani
mean.
music,
Yeah,
and
that sounds
Awesome.
so
Ew,
cool.
it was cool as shit.
I just love when people are musicians and just play music. I just love live music.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play any instruments.
Oh, you don't?
No.
You're so musical.
I know how to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You-
like I
that's your-
admire people who can play instruments because I can't do it.
Do
And
you-
I love it.
Do you have musicians in your family?
Yeah. My mom's whole side of the family, my great grandfather immigrated here from the Philippines.
Oh, really?
And he had a band here called the Five Coconuts.
I love it.
And so this
Love
was
it.
like during a time where there was like a lot of segregation. It was like no Filipinos allowed, and there were actual signs that said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there used to be a picture of him and his band on a bus stop in the International District. So
Wow.
he was a musician. Then his son was an organ player.
Cool.
And then, so they play instruments. And then on my dad's side, everybody can sing.
Really? Okay. You got it from your dad's side.
Yeah.
And they're in New Orleans.
My dad's side of the family, I have some people in New Orleans, Reno,
Okay.
and I think he said in like Little Rock, maybe.
Cool.
It's one of those conversations we had where we're having drinks on the porch, and he started telling me my family history, and I was like, oh, we were
You're
like,
like writing it down. Wait, what you
3
just say?
shots of Hennessy in, like, okay,
Yeah.
Dad.
That's funny. Speaking of drinks, we're sitting here with some Pinot
yeah.
that Lakea brought us and hot honey skewers. My favorite snack that she would make at Rose Temple back when she was popping up.
Yeah.
We've each got like 6 drinks here. I've got my coffee. I
Yeah.
got my LaCroix ready
It's
to be
the
opened into the
holy
microphone.
trinity of drinks.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You got to have something to drink, for hydration, some booze, and then some energy. And you
Yep.
mix those things together, it's the holy trinity of beverages.
It's true. Well said.
Yeah.
So Lakea, we know you from your pop-up, which you did for a few years, mostly at Rose Temple. Did you pop up other places?
So when I first started popping up, I did pop up at different places, but I found a home in Rose Temple.
At Rose Temple.
And I was able to just put in a little bit of roots there and just be in that space doing that,
Yeah.
Right.
which was so cool because they like to foster and grow people in the community who want to do this.
Yeah.
There's such a proving ground for so many spots like that.
They are. Ben and Austin's spot,
Yeah.
a lot of restaurants have come out of people who were popping up there.
Johnny Reyes was there from Lennox as well. Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
would just always call him Lennox. He's probably like, why this girl saying this to me? Oops.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with names. People.
Tio Baby started
Tia
there.
Baby started
Yep.
there. That's
Vindictive Wings had a residency
Vindictive
there
Wings.
before they went.
Now
Golden
that it's
Gal.
Yes,
right. Oh, Gold Coast
Gal was
Gold
there.
Coast Gal was there as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was there.
Yeah.
And so I wrote a story about you, so I know a little about you. In The Stranger, you started out at a hotel, right? Working
I
as a corporate
started
chef.
off in catering first, and then went into hotels, which was nice and cushy and
Yeah.
comfortable. And then COVID happened, and I was like, what the fuck am I going to do now? Like, I at some point started collecting benefits and stuff during that time, but also I was like getting bored. And my friend was just like, you should sell plates. You should sell food. And I was like, ain't nobody going to buy food from somebody they don't know. Like, that's weird. And
But they did.
But they did. And they were like pulling up in their cars and lining up.
Yeah.
And my neighbor then posted something on a Facebook group because a lot of people were still working from home and they didn't want to cook for their families, but they didn't want to eat trash food.
right.
Yeah.
So she was like, would you be open to doing like meal preps for families? And I was like, okay. So then I started doing that.
Yeah.
And then that turned into like catering.
Right. And you were also, I think you still are at Wa Na Wari doing meal prep. Like,
So we there was a brief hiatus at Wa Na Wari because there wasn't funding. So if you want to support a cause, support Wa Na Wari. They are great for art. They support the community, all of that. But anyway, they just got funding back and they called me back, and I will be starting there April 3rd again.
great.
Which is exciting because it's really fun, actually.
oh, really?
Yeah.
It is fun because I have total freedom to make things that I want to make, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And if you stay and you hang out, you get to see the people who are benefiting from the food.
Right.
And it's just all kinds of people. It's such a community thing.
Right. So if folks don't know what Wa Na Wari is, I'm going to try to remember. It's in a house in the CD,
Yes.
and it's a community center, specifically a
Art.
Black community center for arts, right?
Yes.
And so folks can come by and get a meal, no questions asked.
They can get a meal. They have programs there for kids where they might have like cookie decorating or movie nights or art nights.
Yeah.
And live musicians might come in there and play.
So rad.
There's so many different things that they do in that space, and they provide so many different experiences. It's great. I'm glad that they're still around, able to do that, service the community. They also have days where you can come and get free pantry items.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like
They do everything.
feminine products or food like noodles, rice, whatever.
That's incredible.
It is. It's such a great resource in the community.
Yeah.
And they're in a building that one of the board members owned, or it was their childhood home or
Their
something
childhood
like that.
home.
Yeah.
They're trying to save their home from gentrification pretty much.
So they were able to make it into a nonprofit and then buy it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I love that. And now it's a space like, it just reminds me of old Seattle or people who grew up here, and it's like your grandma's house.
Yeah.
You know, your grandma's house in the CD, and it's like these big old houses, and they're it feels like home to a lot of people now, and other generations get to sense that because the CD doesn't feel like that no more.
Yeah,
Sure.
it feels different. I went to high school in the CD, so although I didn't live there, I see the difference. Yeah.
Right. It's not grandma's house over there no more. It's
No.
tech bro house.
Yeah. They're like, wow, it's cheap. Let's make it more expensive.
Yeah.
You're from Seattle also.
Born and raised.
We should mention Beacon.
Yeah, I'm from North Beacon Hill.
All three of us are Seattle born and
That's
raised. Yeah.
actually quite rare.
Unusual.
Yeah. I wasn't born in Seattle, but we moved here when I was like 1.
Okay.
So,
Oh, that's right. You were born in
like,
New York.
yeah.
I forgot about that.
yeah.
All
So
right, well,
it's,
get the fuck out then.
it's a weird thing.
No.
Like
Just kidding.
99% raised, you know.
Well,
but,
you're a year older than me, so as long as
yeah.
I've been alive, you have lived
There
in
we
Seattle.
go. I feel like the 1 year, the first year in New York is what prevents me from being into IPAs, hiking, and camping. I don't know, something about that.
Shit. I wonder what prevented me from being into all of that.
Being lazy for
Yes,
me. Like,
might be. It's like
Yeah.
I don't like shitty beer, and I don't appreciate climbing up mountains as much as other people.
my partner Steven objected to our shit talking of IPAs.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, he texted me. He's
Is
like,
he from here?
He's from California, actually, but he just
Oh.
likes IPAs. And
Yeah.
he's like, he texted me, just like, I just would like you to know that your opinions on IPA are wrong.
Can he tell us why it's good? That's always my
I
counter
don't
thing.
know.
Like,
I don't care for them. He will often say, I want an IPA that's extra angry and extra bitter. He'll describe them as angry. I think he likes tannins as well. People
Yeah.
who like a lot of
Okay.
tannins in their food and acid.
I'm open to getting my mind changed about things.
Yeah.
Me too. I have not found an IPA that I enjoy.
I will say this. I kind of mentioned this last time, and
Yeah.
it was sort of undiplomatic, but I went through a time where I was trying to get into IPAs back in, like, I don't know, 2017, because I just realized that that's all we have on tap at most craft breweries, right?
Right.
Like, you roll up, it's going to be Rainier, a ton
God.
of IPAs.
Give me the Rainier.
And, like, maybe a Guinness. Yeah.
Give me
Porter,
the Rainier
yeah.
and a shot.
Yeah.
There'll be a stouter porter.
And I thought, well, the reason IPAs are such a thing here is because we have local hops. Like, hops are a local crop,
grow
so
here,
it
right.
makes sense to use them and to center them in the brewing. So I get it. But what I noticed was the more IPAs I drank, the more I needed to keep drinking IPAs because my taste buds were blown out. You know, it's
Interesting.
like, are you going to eat an habanero pepper and then go to a jalapeno? No, you're not, right?
That
Like,
makes
it's-
sense. Whoa.
That's heavy,
I never
actually.
thought about that. You're so deep.
Strong point. What are you, a journalist? Wow.
So, you know, that made me want to limit it. And I can appreciate an IPA, but you really got to drink it at the right time. You got to course it out, like the same way you would a coursed meal. You're not going to eat the strongest thing first, you know, and so...
Well, I will relay that to
we
Steven.
we should go
see.
and do an IPA tasting and see.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just try it out, you know.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, if we
I
get
mean,
into like,
I shouldn't be shitting on it so hard because I don't know anything about it.
What if you find one that you like? That's true. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be open.
I mean, like I said, I'm always open to someone changing my mind. I always want to know, like, if you don't agree with me, I would like to know what is your opinion on
Sure.
it exactly, and it can't just be like whatever.
yeah,
That's a good,
Like,
curious
why
mind. That
Is
does
it
that,
this? Why
yeah.
do you think that?
exactly.
If somebody can't explain the why they feel about something, I'd be like, okay, then you're just wrong. It's okay.
Well, Mark, you make a strong argument. I'm going to relay that to Steven and
Yeah.
see what his rebuttal
And
is.
I do in that space. I perceive sort of a bitterness arms race where everyone's trying to get the most.
Bitterness arms race.
It's like-
That's the episode title.
It's like IBU. How hard can we get into the IBU of it? You know,
You think
and-
it's edgelord shit? Is that what
I
you're saying?
mean, not for everyone. I'm sure it's not for Stephen, but
Yeah,
I think
Steven's not
there
an
are-
edgelord. He sincerely enjoys IPAs.
It's that like hot sauce bro energy.
Yeah.
You know, where
He likes hot sauce too.
where it's
I do
like,
too.
Yeah, I do do too.
this is the ass kicking double X, and it's got like a picture of a mule on it with a pepper. I don't know.
You're saying your palate is more nuanced, is what you're telling us.
Oh God, I don't want to come across that way.
You have a New York State palate, and not like
New York
us.
state of mind palate.
Okay. Palate.
I just want to be able to drink multiple styles of beer. I don't want to get stuck on one.
I think that's a
can't.
good way to think.
Yeah.
Like try different things and find things you like.
Yeah, like I'll throw down on an IPA every now and then. Like I love the IPAs that they make it here today. Like that's a really it's more complex, and I don't know.
To be fair, I can't have too many bold opinions on beer when the only time I'm drinking beer is if I'm barbecuing.
We should talk about how you're barbecuing, by the way, because you're one of the few, like, I don't want to call you pit master, but you're one of the few women,
No,
like,
I'm not a pit master.
barbecuer smokers that I know.
It's something that I'm just really fascinated with, the whole like barbecue pit smoking culture. I like started watching videos on YouTube and wanting to learn more.
Yeah.
And like I'm nowhere close to being anything in that. Those people, I admire them a lot. It takes so much hours
It just
and
takes
so much
time in
dedication
your
and so much
life.
time.
Yeah, I mean,
And like you can do all of that and give it all those things and it comes out like shit if you don't do it right. And it's you just have to keep doing it.
I feel like pitmasters are all like 58 years old, the young ones, right?
Totally.
Like it's just, you got to dedicate decades to it.
Like I said, I try to learn as much as I can. I like to travel to different places and learn about stuff.
Yeah.
So I went to Texas a couple of times and was trying to learn as much as I can about their barbecue culture. And then I went to Kansas City.
Okay.
And was learning about barbecue culture there. And
Yeah.
everybody's style so different. And I went to the Carolinas and learned about it from there.
Sure.
I do have a favorite barbecue.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
gonna
let's
ask
hear it.
you.
Let's hear it. I want to know.
Okay. So I haven't been to Memphis yet and I would like to go. So I can't speak yet. But I would say that Texas does brisket really well.
I agree with you completely.
Their brisket is so good.
Where's your fave?
I can't think of the name of where I went.
Okay.
Also, it was a touristy place, so
Was it
some
in,
Texans gonna be like, you don't know brisket. I was
was
like,
it a city market in
no, it was like someplace that was
Luling? No?
popular that people were like, try this. And by the way, all the sides were trash. Like just
Interesting.
trash.
Okay.
But the
mac and
meat
cheese.
was
Yeah.
their mac and cheese.
You make the best mac
was
and cheese,
noodles.
so
it was
yeah.
just noodles with like, I don't know. It was very dry looking.
You make one of the best mac and cheeses
Thank you.
I've had in my life. So
Seconding
you
that.
would say that. You can say that.
I'm a little picky about that. I'm like, it gotta be
Yeah.
juicy.
It's got to be juicy, and I like that you put the boursin in there because I
Yeah.
like to put boursin in everything.
If there's any reason to use boursin, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna use it.
Yeah,
That's right.
love it.
I'll find a reason to use
You get
it.
that 3-pack at Costco for $9 or whatever.
Sometimes it goes
Yeah.
on sale for cheaper, and
Yeah.
then I act like a hoarder and I buy like
you put them in the freezer because they freeze. I do too. Yeah, I've got a couple in
My
the
mom's
freezer.
like, what are you buying all this weird cheese for? She's just like sharp cheddar only. But I would say, okay, Kansas City got the pork ribs on lock.
For sure.
The pork ribs in Kansas City was so good.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the place I went to. It was like L&R's or something.
Yeah, I went a lot of places. It was like I was only there for 3 days, and I think in one day alone, I had tried four different places.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how, and I was just like getting a little bit each place, just so I could try everything.
And consistently, the pork ribs were what's up?
The pork ribs was so good.
Yeah.
Their sauce is so good to me because it's very vinegar based.
Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. And then the mustardy one is Carolina, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that one too.
I just don't remember it. I'm sure it's fine. I had great food in North Carolina, but for me, like if I was going to remember something I ate there that I really liked the fried chicken there.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, they have like a million different flavors of fried chicken, and their
Really?
gas station chicken is better than any restaurant chicken we have here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was good everywhere. You just throw a dart somewhere and hit it, and it's like there's gonna be fried chicken in there. I know it, and there's gonna be flavors you never heard of.
I have to co-sign that Texas does the best brisket.
Specifically,
I care
though,
a
not
lot
San
about.
Antonio.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I had any in San Antonio.
I've been to several places in Texas, and San Antonio had out of all the places in Texas, they had the worst barbecue.
Oh, really?
San Antonio feels like a big mall, and I know there's old San Antonio and it's a historic city, but the Riverwalk, it all just seems like Bellevue, man.
Oh boy.
Or like U Village. It seemed very corporate.
You're not wrong. I
Yeah.
did love seeing the Alamo and all that stuff because
Yeah.
there's, I
There's
love
history there, yeah.
historical sites.
Sure.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think if there's good Texas style Texas style brisket here.
Outsider.
Outsider, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just
That's
opened.
the Turkish guy who does Austin style. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where I went where I had the brisket that I was like, Ooh wee.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it was so juicy.
gotta
Oh
get
my
there.
God.
That's the
It
one.
was so juicy. It
Outside
blew
of
my
barbecue.
mind.
Yeah.
On Leary Way. Yeah.
Very way. Yeah,
Okay.
right next to Humdee.
I gotta go.
Yep.
Should we do the news?
Let's do the news, but first.
Oh, but first of all, I gotta open my seltzer, which is all fucked
Oh,
up
shit.
because I walked out of my
Yeah.
kitchen door today and I saw that there were grape hyacinths growing in my yard. So I walked out my kitchen door and I was like, wow, there's grape hyacinths. It's springtime flowers. And I walked toward them and I fell down my stairs and I dented my can. So
Yeah.
let's see how it opens. It is on an incline. That's true.
It's
I
real
made like a
treacherous
ski
looking.
Eat
jump.
on tilt. Drink on tilt.
Yeah, here we go. Boop. Ew.
But it won't open all the way.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Okay, I did it.
How
It
is
is
it?
difficult to drink.
Yeah, I
but
bet.
this is the elite polar seltzer, the ginger lime, the mule flavor.
Yeah.
Number one best fucking flavor.
With the new patented lip cutting
Have a
can.
little
know.
shot of vodka with it.
It's actually rounded. It's not
Oh,
lip
okay,
cutting because
that's good.
this part is taller than where the hole is. so-
Good. I was worried about you.
Patented lip cutting.
It's a sippy cup. It's been dulled by
Sir,
my
please.
klutziness.
Please.
So I got this at the Gross Out, by the way. If you want the ginger
Yikes.
lime polar seltzers, they're $2.99 at the Gross Out.
Nice.
That's short for grocery outlet, if anyone doesn't know. But I also got a weird treat, and I think these are going to be gross.
What are they?
They are Snackin' For You brand broccoli puffs, the ski
Broccoli
barbecue flavor,
puff.
made with real broccoli,
Okay.
baked, not fried.
I don't know
Like,
why we're
it
putting
just-
broccoli inside of chips,
It
but
gets
whatever.
worse and worse. Every line gets worse.
Just eat broccoli or
Broccoli
eat chips.
is the horrible, by the way. Broccoli, then it's broccoli puffs, mesquite barbecue flavored,
Okay.
made
So
with real
something
broccoli,
nobody
and
asked
there's,
for or wanted or needed.
and
They
there's
just
dancing
decided.
broccoli around it.
Okay.
I mean,
But then it's baked, not fried. God damn it.
oh,
What if it's good? What if it
It
tastes like
might-
cheese puffs?
My-
it might be.
My alternate was the cashew cacao spread, but I realized we needed something to put it on, and we didn't have it.
Oh.
Like I needed.
I like a spoon. Wait, you guys
point.
don't eat
Next
cookie butter
week.
out the jar? Or?
I guess we could have gotten 3 spoons. Right.
We could have had it so
Next
good,
time.
but broccoli puffs instead.
But Mark chose broccoli puffs. I
Oh, this
offered him
is
the cashew
Mark.
spread.
It's true. This is my fault.
Mark
but
chose the broccoli puffs.
in my
So
defense,
now he has to eat them.
There's
I
no
didn't-
defense for this.
I know. I didn't know that the spread was going to be on the table. Meg told me she wanted to make ice cream out of that. And I
I
thought,
did,
well,
and
that's
I
a great
forgot.
idea. I don't want to get in the way of that.
I dare you to dip a broccoli puff in the cashew cacao spread.
I will after I taste the first one.
All right.
Let me finish off
Right.
my drink before I
gotta-
start doing wild shit like
You
that.
don't have
Oh,
to
look.
eat it.
They're like
I am
doodly.
gonna eat it.
I don't
They
know
are-
why.
They're
I
like
thought,
cheese doodles with a Z.
It looks
I
like
thought-
a cat poop.
I
Let
thought
me
they,
see. It does.
I thought they were going to be spherical for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. All right, smells
Because I
smoky.
said they're like cheese balls in text. That's why. Oh, they're not that bad.
All right.
I'm not mad at it, but like it tastes
I don't want
really
it.
healthy.
I'm not
Oh,
mad
wow.
at it, but I don't
It
want
has
it.
this like touch of cardboard afterward.
Yeah. It's the real broccoli coming through.
It is the mesquite barbecue from like
Yeah.
those very thin Lays.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
it's Lay's barbecue
100%.
on an engineered broccoli conglomerate
It's like styrofoam peanut, yeah.
that has been
the
brushed.
flavor's not bad.
It's not-
It's the nastiness of the actual product. Like
To be honest,
Go ahead.
it's in between. It's neither good nor bad. And
if I had to choose, it's mostly bad.
yeah,
Like I don't know that I'll reach back for that.
It's a way to trick your children into eating vegetables, I think.
true. All right, I'm going to
Okay.
try one more.
But Mark's still eating them.
What's the calories on it?
Oh,
120 for 20 pieces.
So it's like 30 calories more for actual chips you'll like.
Yeah. It's
Just have 30 calories and like take 3 steps, you'll be fine.
it's low calorie because you'll only want 10 of them.
Yeah, right. It's super healthy because you don't like them. The ingredients are rice flour, chickpea flour, vegetable oil,
Oh, it's gluten free.
pea protein, dehydrated vegetables, including onion, garlic, tomato, broccoli. That's not dehydrated, apparently. Sugar, spice, salt, paprika, natural flavors, including smoke and grill.
Oh,
Grill flavor. That's
grill?
Oh,
in
boy.
nature, from the
Just
grill
a,
tree.
Just a grill.
Boy, some factory off the New Jersey Turnpike's working overtime for that one.
Nature's grill.
Nature's grill. Stop.
It's
From the grill shrub of New Jersey.
Oh my god!
And torula yeast.
Look at you,
wherever
you're
the fuck that
reaching
is.
for another one
Yeah.
though.
starving.
You got liquid smoke and you got liquid grill.
Yeah,
That's wild.
that's liquid grill.
I hate that I bought these, but they're available. Snacking for you. Personal snacking.
If I was really into health stuff, I guess I would I would be okay with it.
Sure, if you're like a gym bro who was like counting calories and protein and shit like that.
Oh, is there protein in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh,
pea
there's
protein.
4 grams.
4 grams.
Oh.
Versus like 0 grams. Although if it were
Okay.
cheese doodles, it would have a little bit of protein from the
Yeah.
cheese.
So if you were on a desert island stranded, you could kind of get by with these.
If I had a joint, I would eat these. Honestly.
If they were around. Yeah.
Right. I'd be like, oh, well.
I think I'm done with the broccoli puffs.
Yeah.
Now I know.
I think
I'm
so
going to have
too.
one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Because
you
Just
Give
know,
them
sitting
to
here.
like birds or something. Birds would fuck these up.
I don't think they're very broccoli-ish though. I was kind of
No,
hoping
they're
they'd
not.
be all fucked up and green and weird.
I thought they would taste like broccoli, which I enjoy.
It's more like a chickpea flour kind
Yeah,
of flavor.
It does taste like chickpea
Yeah.
flour.
Barbecue flavored chickpeas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
It's okay.
Now we know that's why they were at the gross out because
Yeah.
wherever they were sold at QFC or whatever, they didn't sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thoroughly
They were at
mid.
the garage sale for food.
Oh, it is the garage sale for food.
We call it the food wheel. It's like the Goodwill for food.
Dang, you kind of make me want to go in there and browse around.
I
Sometimes
fucking
for
love
fun,
that
when I
place.
get bored, I just walk around.
Sometimes they have good shit.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say about half of it is good shit.
I always find great deals on cheese there.
Good
Yeah.
cheese. Yeah.
I wish
And,
there was one
and
close to me.
Boursin, and they do the Boursin bites, which are those little tiny little cubes for I think they're $1.99. It's the same weight as a Boursin. That's like $7 or $8.
I just can never go back to paying that much for a Boursin when I
Right.
can get 3 of them at Costco.
Right.
All right.
All right. News.
Got some news.
Boy. Bad week for corny chains, part 1.
That's the name of the podcast.
Harry from Eater, Seattle, reported that Milk Bar's Bellevue location has closed. So
I did not know that we had a milk bar. Location.
Yeah, neither of you knew that there was one, and there is no longer. So your knowledge
Good.
is
So we were right.
aligned.
Okay, so the milk bar that we never knew existed now no longer exists.
Yeah, it was inside of the Nordstrom in Bellevue Square, which
Of course it was.
like, that's a concentration of
What?
Bellevue-ness so strong.
the
I think
Nordstrom in Bellevue Square. Yeah, I'm not going in there.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but I'm just not. Like, doesn't sound like something to do.
yeah. That's the reputation that Bellevue has attained is very much in line with this very thing, right? Like the chain location of a past its prime thing inside the mall. And
I love the poem of it doesn't sound like something to do. Like I'm looking for something to do. That ain't it.
so
Right. Of all the choices I can make, it's not one of them.
I love. Okay.
a spokesperson emailed Harry and told him that Nordstrom made the decision to reconcept the space occupied by Milk Bar into non-food and beverage retail. So
Okay.
that's the
They
reason.
want to sell more fucking shoes or
I think
something.
that that's that. So
And that's that.
I kind
That's
of like the
final.
Nordstrom. There's like wasn't there like a cafe in the one downtown?
Yeah, I worked for Nordstrom Corporate and I ate at that cafe
It
all
was
the time.
good.
It was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
yeah,
But why don't they just they don't put that
that
in
they
there?
should maybe.
Do they have a cafe in
Oh, they
the
do?
Bellevue Nordstrom, I think.
I mean, I wouldn't know. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
why
not
would we
going
know
in
that?
there.
Yeah,
We wouldn't know.
I'm a Nordstrom rack girl.
Me too.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm a hater of national chains coming here. Like our neighbors are doing it better. There's a ton of better dessert bars than Tired Old Milk Bar opening up its whatever location here. We don't need
Yeah.
it. You know, go to Chemi, go to R&M, go to the place you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Coach Valley, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you do.
All right. Good riddance to bad rubbish.
Kind of, yeah. Bad week for corny chains part 2. Also reported by Harry in Eater Seattle. Sushi by Scratch is closed due to not having proper permitting
I
to
love
serve
this.
sushi.
That is insane.
That
Yeah,
Because people can get
$185
so
bucks.
fucking sick
Yeah.
if you don't handle that stuff properly.
Yeah. Of all of the things to not have a permit for, fucking
That is
sushi grade
insane.
fish.
Yeah.
That's crazy to
yeah.
me.
They were like, we don't have a permit. Check it out. We're open anyway. It's working. It's working. They're giving us the $185
Wait, it's $185 for what?
for pre-fish sushi. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
for
just-
fish that they probably not temping properly or freezing properly.
Hard to say. Don't know.
Yeah, they're claiming that they're doing everything right. It's an incredible story to read. Like I highly recommend people go to Eater Seattle and check out Harry's story about this. They're saying that they were offered the space by a real estate entrepreneur who promised to have all the permitting in place, and then they came in and it turned out they didn't know that the permitting wasn't in place.
Okay.
Is that very believable? No.
It is hard to believe.
In any event, Sushi by Scratch that. At this point, they're closed for the time being until they get their permitting straight. So
Oops.
No thanks.
I'm sure they will get permitting, but Until then,
I'm sure they will.
Once again, they are better local sushi places. Seattle
Are they a chain?
They are, yeah. They're in Las Vegas and
Okay.
wherever else.
Why does Vegas shit keep ending up here? They've got that Oscar Amador place that's opening too, and he's Vegas. He's Spain by way of Vegas. You know what I'm talking about? It's called La Loba. The spot. Yeah.
Yep.
Vegas wants to move to Seattle for some fucking reason.
No.
I mean, like,
I don't want Vegas stuff here. Vegas used to be so cool, and it's not anymore.
I'm not trying to fuck
It
with
used
Vegas.
to be so cool.
It can be cool, but it can stay in Las Vegas. Like we don't
It's just
need
not.
it.
It just
Exactly.
isn't what it used to be. It's like you used to go to Vegas. You know, you get a cheap hotel room. Drinks was cheap. The buffet was cheap. You have the time of your life. Now you go there. They charge for everything, and there's a fee you never heard of for the fee, and then another fee, and then they add a fee to that. And you're like, "What's this fee for?" And they're like, "Now that's going to be another fee."
None of your business.
Right. And I'm like, y'all, I'm like, bring the mob back then if this is what you're going to do. Go ahead and let them run this shit.
I like that as just a standard response to anything. Bring the mob back then.
Just like because when the mob was running shit, you felt valued.
You
You,
got
know?
your
oh,
permit.
it's true.
Yeah.
Bugsy Siegel would not have stood
When
for
the
that
mob
shit.
told you you
No.
had your permit, you had it.
Right.
Because the mob does everything by the book legally. Just kidding.
Look, they left, as long as they left me alone and shit was cheap, we good. It's none of my business about anything else. I'm not swimming with the fishes or whatever.
No, you don't want to swim with the fishes.
That's where your permit is.
Yeah. Meg, you have some news?
I have some news. So Jar Bar, which is everyone's favorite little 470 square foot Spanish Portuguese bar down in Pike Place, closed suddenly last week.
Yeah.
And they put up a GoFundMe. They are trying to raise quite a lot of money. Owner Brian Jar sat with me. I got to go to Jar Bar even though it's closed and talk to Brian. And he basically said, like, he's been struggling for a little over a year. Just with back rent.
I wish I had known that before he closed his doors.
Yeah.
Because I would have made an effort to be there.
Right. When I saw that he had closed, I thought he meant for the day. Like, Jar Bar is closed today. And I was like, great, let's go tomorrow and we'll throw some
That's
money
what
at
I
him.
said.
Yeah.
I said, oh, cool. Like, I'm going to call like my homegirls. We're going to go there and have a cute night.
Yeah.
It's closed now. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang.
I know. A lot of people have said that. So I went down and chatted with him. He's trying to raise $133,000. He's just got back rent. He said he's still feeling the effects of COVID and the pandemic lockdown.
Right.
He went through a divorce, which is neither here nor there, but it's expensive to go through a divorce. So he's just trying to get back on his feet. In general, I know it's not our responsibility to pay for people's divorces, but we do love Jar Bar, and I would like for it to continue to exist. So
It really does remind me of being in Portugal.
for sure, absolutely.
It's definitely giving that. And Spain. It's like the cute little space. And
Yeah, little bullfighter bar. And, and it's a family bar, and there's like a baby sitting on the table or whatever, and people are just chilling. Yeah,
I have good memories in that place.
yeah, me too.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Worth saving for sure.
let's save Jar Bar.
Let's save Jar Bar.
Let
Absolutely.
us.
In some better news, Rachel's Bagels and Burritos has opened their expanded seating area in their Ballard location. Finally.
Oh yeah, they
it's
just had
been a
that
long-
little sort of rail spot in the front. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you and I went there back when they were first starting to build that out, back in like October 2023?
Something like that.
It's been a long road for them, and so they are finally done. You can dine in there now, which
Awesome.
is important. They've also added a broiler and a larger flat top to enable them to make some menu tweaks.
Okay.
Things
All
like
of a sudden, there's a lot of bagel stuff happening in
I
Seattle.
know there's so many
Yeah.
bagels.
It's like I never ever heard
Pe-
anybody talk about a bagel, and it's like the last 2 years, it's like a
Yeah.
bagel boom.
Yeah, well, I think what happened was
bagel
during,
boom.
during COVID, people
That's
started
exactly
experimenting with baking and then
Yeah.
learned some bagelry. And
That's what happened with Howdy Bagel. They were
Bagelry.
stuck at home,
Yeah.
and everyone's making sourdough and shit like that, and people started making bagels because there's a process to it, right? You
Yeah.
gotta like use a specific kind of dough, and you gotta proof it, and you gotta boil it, and then you gotta glaze it, and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
there's like it's a specific.
None of which I have patience for.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're doing it and not us.
I just
For
just
sure.
be cooking stuff.
I don't bake.
I don't bake either, and I be trying and stuff, and it's cute or something, but it's nothing like that.
I would like to
Yeah.
learn how to make basic bread.
I keep trying.
I think that's
and
a
like
good human skill to know. how to
Totally.
make
It is,
bread.
and they make it seem so easy, and then I keep trying. I'm just like, this is okay, but it's not good. Like,
You got to get that Dutch oven in the oven way.
So,
yeah,
like,
that's
for
right.
Le
Get it hot.
Creuset, yeah.
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 It doesn't necessarily even have to be a Le Creuset. It can be like
No,
a plain
I know.
ass.
Yeah.
I got
cast
mine
iron
from
lodge.
Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do that. We're smart. People have been
Yeah.
doing it for millennia. I'm sure we can.
Mine
are
The
just
three of
not
us can figure out how to
good.
fucking make bread.
It's
Yeah.
not like that chewy. Like I don't get those chewy air pockets or
Yeah.
whatever in it.
All the French peasants know how to make bread. Everybody knows how to make bread.
I can make it. It's
Yeah.
just you're not gonna like it. It's okay.
That doesn't mean you didn't make it.
I did. I was
You
like,
still made it.
I can do it.
That's
technically.
a good point. Like 4 millennia, was the bread good?
Yeah.
We don't talk about
A
that.
lot of times though, when I read back on history stuff, I like to look at food history. The bread wasn't always good.
Yeah, I
it
bet
wasn't
it
always
wasn't.
good. People didn't have resources or money, and they made bread however they could make
You
bread.
make
Yeah.
a strong point. It
Like,
was bread.
Egyptian bread was unleavened, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
You know, they didn't even have the
bet.
bubbles and whatnot.
That's
Yeah.
just
back
how
then.
I like bread.
Yeah.
Ancient bread probably tasted like shit. Good point.
But baking is all about tinkering around too and making little adjustments
For
here
sure.
and there. It's
Yeah.
kind of not like a set it and forget it recipe. You always kind of have to do something a little bit different every day.
That's true. And there's so many different kinds of bread from around the world.
Yeah.
Like sourdough and
Are you
bagels
guys
are the
feeling
same.
the wine?
A little
Yes,
bit, yeah.
absolutely. I feel like we were worse off before the wine, and now that we're drinking the wine, we're cooking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now we're
my
focused.
Goodness. A little wine ain't never hurt nobody.
Yeah, no, I always feel like I operate best on a cup of coffee and a drink.
Yes.
You know, like that's
What's your go-to drink?
Oh, it depends on where I'm at. You know, if I'm going to do some work, if I'm going to do some writing, a dram of scotch. lived
We're
out
both
my-
into scotch right now, you and me.
Yeah.
Bess gave me that bottle of Lafroig, which I've had Lafroig before, but I just didn't have a bottle of it in my house.
Sure.
And I'm like, every night I'm having some Lafroig with
Just
some.
a little swirl around.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
put a big cube in the middle. I added a little cherry hearing to it last
Ooh,
night. It
look
was
at you.
nice. It was
I love it.
smoky and cherry.
Uh-huh.
I have a full bar in my bedroom.
Do you really? In your
Yes.
bedroom?
What's your go-to drink?
We're
Yeah.
having fun in that space.
Yeah.
You're making a cocktail in your bedroom. What's it going to be?
I actually don't drink cocktails. I drink wine.
You do?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
drink wine, and I have like cocktails. I guess every now and again, but for the most part, I'm a wine girly.
Maybe I should put a bar in my room.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, why wouldn't I? Why
I
haven't
have
I
a
done
mini
it already?
fridge and a bar in there. So
That's right.
if I'm-
You have often said like your bed is immaculate
my
and
bedroom
elaborate. Yeah.
is. It's
Yeah.
like it's Arabian Nights in there. It is. It's Arabian Nights and like candles and very vibey. And I have like luxurious pajamas, you know, like silk pajamas.
Do you have like a stereo system and
It's all the things because like I deserve to be in a nice space. Like
You
if I
do.
gotta be here, I should be enjoying my time
Yeah.
up in
gotta
here.
be here?
You know what I'm saying? Like if this is where I'm gonna be at,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
Sure.
This is my sanctuary. This is
Yeah.
a reflection of how I want to feel when I
Yeah.
come home. And I like want to come home having fucking drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to put on something luxurious because I've been getting food splattered in my face all fucking day long.
But you gotta
Right.
compensate. You gotta balance it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taurus
Yeah.
Taurus vibes.
It's
Yeah.
such Taurus vibes,
Yeah.
actually.
Same.
Just being like a hostess with the mostest or
Yeah.
an entertainer or like liking fine things.
Sure. Luxurious. Yeah. But not over the top, right?
No.
Practical and luxurious.
Yeah,
High
yeah.
quality. Both of you. You
Yeah.
have a beautiful apartment as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I have a shambling old Victorian house full of cats that's crumbling into dust. That's Aquarius vibes with 9,000 books in it. But you guys have like high quality mid-century furniture with Mark.
Yeah.
Understated, a few plants,
Yeah,
you
we got
know,
some plans going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like international vibe.
Taurus vibe.
So
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
I travel a lot, so my space kind of reflection
Yeah,
of that. It's kind of
cool.
like, oh, I got this in Mexico, and when I was
Yeah.
in Thailand that time, and when I went to the
Perfect.
Amalfi Coast, I picked this up.
Picked up this lemon tree from the Amalfi
Yeah,
Coast.
just grow my own lemons and make limoncello. Would
There
you
you
like
go.
some? I have a bar.
That was our guest last week, right?
I have a
Yeah.
bar cart.
Yeah.
Wait, your last guest was making limoncellos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was skipped
Genius.
from Letterpress Distilling.
Gina
Oh.
Skip Tognetti. He makes limoncello and orancello out of oranges.
Ooh.
And
Pompolmel melcello.
Yeah, out of
Out of
grapefruit
grapefruit.
sometimes. Like,
I don't know this person, but I feel like I should.
you should.
I need to go to his tasting room, so if you want to join us.
Yeah.
Last week, he's like, great to see you. Thanks so much. Go to my tasting room. Like, fucking go. I keep
Okay,
saying I'm
well,
gonna go,
where
and I
is
didn't go.
it?
It's in Soto.
Okay, so yeah, I can
Let's all
definitely
go.
go.
We're going
Yeah.
to Flight Path.
Yeah.
We're going to Letterpress Distilling
Okay.
tasting room.
Here's what we do. We go to Letterpress first because they're open. They're
Yes,
open,
we get lit up.
and it's perfect because they're open noon to 6 on a Saturday.
Perfect.
Right? So we head there.
It's on.
We get it going. We get loosened up, and then we go to Flight Pass.
Is this
and
your birthday party, Mark?
Ideally
I'll
sooner.
be back by then.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Puerto Vallarta for my birthday.
Nice,
I've
nice.
never been to Puerto. I've been to Mexico probably 18 times, but I've
Yeah.
never been to Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
And I was kind of like, for my birthday, I don't want to go on a really long flight because
Yeah.
I hate to fly.
Yeah.
I hate it. I really hate it. I have
It's
to get
not good.
very, very, very drunk or drugged up to get on a plane. And people be like, really? You fly a lot? And I was like, yeah, and I hate it every time. It's just the reward outweighs the fear. So I was like, I don't want to be on a long flight.
Just celebrate the whole week.
Yeah.
I celebrate the whole month.
Yep.
That's great.
It's my birthday season.
Birthday season. You got to do it.
I'm
I love it.
excited.
That
Taurus
makes
vibes.
sense.
Not that I believe in that shit, but if I did, you guys would
feel
be
like
a good
it's
argument
true.
for it.
Like every tourist I know, like, do you cook?
I don't. No.
Okay.
You like to eat, though.
I like the idea.
You like
of,
good food, okay.
I like the idea of cooking, and there are some things that I cook very well. But when I moved to my current place in Belltown, it had a really small kitchen, no counter space, which is to speak of whatsoever, and it's not fun to cook when there's no space to put anything. You know, it's just.
Yeah.
I know people do cooking in small spaces. It's just that the only counter space I got is this IKEA cart
Yeah.
/ counter thing that I thought was going to work, but is just wobbly and annoying.
It's because you have an
Oh.
old apartment and they
Yeah.
just didn't prioritize counter space. We
Yeah.
are so behind on this podcast. Is there
We
any
are.
more news?
There is actually. Plate of Nations is underway, and
Oh,
that
I
is
want to go to
going-
that so bad.
Yeah, isn't it
I was
great?
going to go today.
Yeah, well, it's going until April 6th, so there's plenty of time, and I definitely recommend that anyone hit it up. It was started in 2011 by Asari Mohammed, and it's an annual event showcasing the variety of global cuisines represented by immigrant-owned restaurants.
Oh,
all
definitely
in the
got to go
South
to
End.
that.
Participating restaurants offer a special menu. It's usually like a small combo for 2 or a larger combo for 4 or so. But everyone's got their regular menus going on too, and there's like 71 restaurants participating this
How
year.
do I find all the places participating
Yeah.
in this?
I think there's an Instagram profile.
Yeah.
Just go. They have
Plate
a
of-
whole Instagram page for
There's-
this called
yeah.
Plate of
Nations,
Nations.
yeah.
Okay.
And then plateofnations.com
Yeah.
as well.
Well, I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah. You know, guys, I'm like, it sounds great.
Yeah. And then the last little news item is that Indian Nepali Kitchen, which we love, opened in its new location 2 miles north of its old location. So this place was in a really seedy motel. Like it was attached to the motel on Aurora at about 90th. And so you wouldn't think that a really amazing, beautiful Indian Nepali restaurant would be there. But it was amazing. I think they had about 10 tables, little tiny spot. And then it ended up on a bunch of best of lists. I think Tonvin put it on a best of list. I did for The Stranger. I think The Infatuation
Yeah,
mentioned
everyone.
it. And so
Where
they
is it
have-
at now?
Now it's like, it's still in Aurora, yeah?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
like 137th. So like pretty literally 2 miles north.
And they have Nepali food and they have a lot of it.
I
Like,
would love that.
it's
but I
really
have
good.
in the no car club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's hard. You have to take a 5.
An E line.
You have to take an E, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to take an E. It's
So
hard.
it'll take you right there, the E, but
Where you catch that at?
the E
Downtown.
is like downtown. you know?
Oh. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
When you
Bus.
say it like that, it's
Yeah.
not that hard.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It's just it's a while on the bus.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
We believe in it.
Fantastic place.
For the roundtable, we just wanted to chat with you about why you quit the pop-up game, basically. So you were doing well when you were at Rose Temple, yeah?
Yeah. I was
Okay.
doing good there.
Yeah.
It's a great space.
And then RIP Rose Temple, it ended.
Oh my God, I miss that place so much.
Yeah.
There's nothing else like Rose Temple.
Yeah.
Nothing really fills the shoes of that space for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people actually, when I see them run into people, they're like, I miss that place so much because anybody could go there.
Yeah.
And like you just mingle and it's all different type of people.
Totally. My best memory of Rose Temple is going there with your family. Your family was there eating crab at the table. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? And you're like, come eat crab with us. And we sat right down.
I had did a pho, I think it was a pho pop-up.
Yes.
And I did a seafood boil pho.
Yeah.
And so like I was like at the end of it, I just had some seafood left over and I was like, I'm just gonna bring this out to
You
my
had
family.
Dungeness crabs, and I think your sister got them from the Tulalip Reservation. Is that right?
Yeah.
I just remember they were incredibly fresh and incredibly good. We didn't
Yeah.
get to eat too much of it because we were on our way to Gold Coast Gall, but like I have that beautiful memory of being in that space with you and your family. And so
that place.
you were doing quite well, and then something changed, and then you found that wasn't profitable anymore.
What changed is that they decided to open a different space
Okay.
and they sold that space.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what was the big change.
Yeah.
They decided they were like, we're not doing pop-ups anymore. It's going to be a restaurant
Okay.
and we need somebody who's willing to be here all the time and live that life
Okay.
basically opening a restaurant. And they're like, we would like to give this to you. We were family. We were family up in there. And so like in the club, we're all fam or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, they thought about me, but it wasn't a good fit because I'm a rolling stone in many ways.
Yeah.
And I don't really like to set too many roots because I like to be able to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's like, hey, there's a flight deal. I'm out of here.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
That's why you're a
Right.
pop-up. Yeah.
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 So I would have loved to keep working with them. They're great. Ben and Austin are the coolest guys, but it just didn't work out.
You want to be a freelancer.
I am. And sometimes when I think about my age and my birthday approaching, I'm like, I should be way more settled than this. And I'm not. And I'm like, also like, I don't want to live in comparison. I just got to do me.
Yeah, true. So although that space wasn't a fit any longer, you also decided you didn't want to pop. Like you could have gone somewhere else, right?
Right.
Hypothetically.
So I think what people need to know about pop-ups, I would like to say too, like it's a great way to put your toe in there in the game, see how the water is, and get your name out there if you want to open your own space.
Yeah.
For me, it just became too much. So when you're popping up, you're like, first of all, restaurants are pirate ships anyway. It's a pirate atmosphere. But like you are essentially camping. It's like camping and Chopped and Cutthroat Kitchen all in one. And you're putting all of your money and time into this and then hauling everything into a kitchen. You have no idea what the fuck you're walking into.
Yeah.
Right.
Can be anything. And hoping people show up because you've already invested the money and time into it.
Right.
Hoping the equipment works. Sometimes it doesn't. You're like, I've walked into like some places and they still had their staff there cooking dinner service for some other stuff. And my people were coming in and it was just like crazy. They didn't even know that I was coming.
I don't even know what you would do if that happened. You'd just be like,
I feel like at this
get the
point I
fuck
could do
out of your
anything.
own kitchen. Like,
I just was like, I know. You have to be very gracious and respectful in these spaces because you are a guest. So you had to treat it with respect. When I was, doing my residency at Rose Temple, that was a big thing. We had other pop-ups come all the time. And the people who were invited back were the people who treated the space with respect and the staff with respect. So you got to come in and be like a good person. They're doing you a solid in a way.
Sure.
yeah.
Renting a space is expensive. Running a restaurant's expensive. I
Right.
don't think people really know. Like, you can maybe bitch about prices and stuff. I'm like, so much money goes into having a restaurant.
Totally.
So popping up is a great way to like get your name out there, get your food out there, and save some money.
I'm just thinking, but it was also expensive because you're investing. You're making an investment on all the food and you don't really know what you're going to sell, right? Like you don't know who's
You
going to
just
show up.
pray.
Yeah.
You pray. Also, it's not just that. It's like you have to be vigilant about promoting yourself. You have to be a shameless self-promoter.
Sure.
Yeah.
You got to be online every day, everywhere you go, talking about what you're doing and believing in yourself about it, because if you don't, you're going to lose money. I've been really fortunate and have not lost any money at a pop-up yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But you could have. Like, it's
Yes,
possible.
it is possible.
Yeah.
There's times where I was just like, oh my God, I spent like $800 on food and I'm not going to get that back. Lucky for me though, like I feel like I'm surrounded by people who always rally around me, who support everything that I do, and they always show up for me. And so even if I feel like the ship is sinking, I'm fortunate enough that I have enough people who will come with life reserves.
Yeah.
Save my ass.
You are well liked personally, and your food is very well liked.
Thank
as
you.
well.
Thank you. I feel really fortunate about that. And also I always just want to provide very flavorful, good food. I'm very critical about everything I do. I'm critical about what I put out there. I'm not just throwing anything together. I'm really in my head about it. I'm like, make sure it's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've wrote up. Okay, so here's some pop-up stories to let you know just how hard it can be to be a pop-up. I had an agreement with a space in, say, Burritos. I already had made flyers about it. I had sold tickets for this event. A couple days before, the man says to me, I don't want to do it anymore. I had already went and bought the food, prepped the food, sold tickets. People are coming last minute, found a space. And so that was the space where it was still a functioning restaurant, but my guests started coming in. They were kind enough to let me come and be in their space.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's just stuff you don't think about. You're like, wow, pop-up, I'm so excited. And
Nobody
you don't think
gives a fuck about any of that. They're not here for that. They're here to have your food.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And so they don't know that behind the scenes, anything, the oven's not working.
Right.
Or like there's other staff there, or like this. There's a multitude of things going wrong all the time and fires to put out, and nobody knows that. And nobody cares.
Yeah, they don't. It never occurs to us.
Of course
right?
not. You're here to enjoy your experience, and you should. But that's where it's like it's a bad reflection on you when there's things out of your control,
Right.
and it affects the quality of your food.
It's dicey because your customers are your guests, but you yourself are also a guest. So it's not like you're the host. You're the middleman, right?
Somewhere in between.
You're the Tom Shane of Shane Company.
Yeah.
So were you finding that those types of problems were cropping up way too much in the post Rose Temple era?
Yeah, I just it started to feel like that. There was a lot of issues. Communicating sometimes is difficult. You want all your information. You want to know everything, make sure everything's together. But like sometimes those businesses and those people have their own things going on, and they're not thinking about you because you're not their thing.
Right.
This is everything to you, and really not really something to them. Mm-hmm. And they do their best. Everybody does their best, but like it just it's just a really bad reflection on you as a business when you can't put out your best product and you spent money and time doing this and it doesn't come out right. And I was just like, I don't actually want to keep doing this. I don't want to keep putting in all this money, this time, this effort, this energy, being camping and loading stuff in and going into these spaces and not knowing what the fuck is going on, and then like hoping that I make something, and then I had to pay people to help me too, and then it's a rush when you're doing it and it goes well, but when it goes badly, it's like, oh shit.
Do you have to pay to rent the kitchen?
In some spaces, they do want you to do that.
Yeah.
The spaces I've been fortunate enough to be in, they do not.
They were your friends, yeah.
They're just cool people. They're nice people, and like I feel like when you're in the industry, we all kind of want to help each other out for the most part.
Yeah,
it's all like looking out for each other.
Sure.
So they were like, "Hey, you're looking out for us because you're bringing people in. We're looking out for you,
right?
Because we believe in what you do." Mm-hmm. So I've been lucky enough to have cool people around. Yeah.
So that lack of control made you want to do catering instead?
Yeah. So I've always done catering. I got into cooking starting off in catering. Mm-hmm. And I like that control. I know exactly how many people's going. Mm-hmm. I know exactly how much to make.
You know what you're making,
time it's happening. Yeah. And I know all the things. But one downside to catering, I think people don't understand, is like catering is a luxury service. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think people forget that. And then they get like a little sticker shock, like, oh, I thought it would just be. I was like, no. Like, don't say you want to support a local business, but don't want to pay them for their work.
Right.
It's like they only want to pay you for the food costs, which are fucking high for everybody.
Right.
It's like you're not just paying for food costs. You're paying for the talent behind it and the time and the effort and the people that I have to pay to help me.
Right.
It's like a whole thing. And people so with catering, that's the thing. I think people forget catering is a luxury service. You don't have to get catering. You can go to Costco, but if you want catering, you gotta pay for it.
Yeah.
People also don't realize you are doing your labor. You've got your food costs. You've got your employees, and you're bringing it to them. It's mobile.
I do
right?
all the sourcing, so I have to go out and source at different stores, and then do all the prep work and all the labor and the execution and the cleaning, which, by the way, is crazy.
Yeah.
And then they could pick it up, or I can deliver it. I can come on site. I could do stuff there.
Sure.
It's like a whole thing, and it takes days to do.
Right.
Days.
You got to bring all your cookware. Like, you don't have a stationary kitchen where you keep all your shit. You got to pack it all up.
Bring it all with you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all of those things cost money.
Better be expensive. Yeah.
It's a little bit. It has to be.
Yeah.
And even still, my prices are still more fair than some other people who are out there.
Right. And so you also have a day job, yeah?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it all?
So I have like a boring corporate cook job, but like
that pays the bills.
It pays the bills.
I have a day job and it pays the bills.
It pays the bills. It's pretty easy. It's pretty predictable, and I just needed to have that in the background.
But you are available. So is it Lakea Cooks is the name of your catering company?
Yeah, LakeaCooks.com for catering.
Great. Same Instagram profile.
I have an Instagram profile. My friend was
not
like,
for catering.
They're like, you should make a separate page. I was like, I could, but I'm not going to manage it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
just saying, if someone hears you on the show and wants to hire a caterer,
LakeaCooks.com.
Okay. Sounds good.
Is there any way anyone could tempt you to pop up anywhere, or are you just done completely?
Never say never.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never say never. Like, I might get a wild hair one day and be like, fuck it.
If Rose Temple comes back to life.
Well, that's never happening.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
some things you can't recreate. That was magic.
Yeah.
Just like our place was magic. Like nobody can. They put someplace else there now.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what it's called.
I know what it's called. It's not our place.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put them on blast, but it's not our place.
Sure.
There was magic about that place.
For sure.
It's some place where everybody can come have fun, and Rose Temple was that place, and it's hard to recreate that magic.
Yep.
They have a different space now, which is great. Rose Temple opened up a new spot called Donna's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Rose Temple's same owners now.
Same
own
owners,
own
same
Donna's.
people, same everybody.
Just down the street.
Just down the street, and it's a really great place.
Yeah.
It just is in Rose Temple for me.
Yeah.
But I like
Sure.
to go in there and pop in. Their drinks are bomb.
Yeah.
Their happy hour is bomb.
I like that Papal Bowl. Is that the name of the cocktail that has a tomato, like a pickled tomato?
Yes.
It's like a martini, and then it has like scallion oil or something on top. Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
girls know how to make a drink.
Yeah.
They really do.
They do. Oh my God. I always,
Okay.
every time I see them, I'd be like, girl, your drinks are so good. Even when I work with them at Rose Temple, I was like, these are some of the best bartenders I know.
Yeah, they're great.
Shall we do Thanks We Ate It?
Let's do Thanks I Ate It. Yeah.
Things we hated.
Thanks. Well, some people on the internet are like, thanks, I hate it. Like something that is disgusting or awful.
Oh, thanks, I
But
hate it.
we say thanks, I ate it, meaning the stuff we ate this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get it? It's an internet
Okay. I'm old. I don't be knowing everything.
Yeah.
joke. Mark, did you eat anything this week?
Yeah, I'm about to freak out because I went to Spice Walla's Columbia City location and finally tried their Indian fried
You're
chicken.
about to freak out.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. So I've been meaning to get to Spice Walla's Columbia City location ever since they came out with this fried chicken thing. I mean, we've been talking about how we're sort of full up with fried chicken in this city, but the fact that they're doing like an Indian spiced kind of fried chicken variant is very interesting to me, and I wanted to see what they were doing. So I went and I got a chicken thali, and it was a thigh, a leg, basmati rice, lentil dal, and green chutney.
Ooh.
And yeah, I don't want to like hang too much on the price, but it was $12.99. That's like
great.
That's
nothing.
great.
Exactly, right?
That's great.
Like it's so cheap, and it was so much food, and it was so good. And I'm like, why?
Well, now I'm about to freak
Why?
out.
Yeah, why is it? Why
Now
is
we know why Mark was going to freak
Yes,
out.
like why is there not a line down the block? There should be a line down the block for this.
I might
because-
go get that later.
We got to like make a list of these things.
Yeah.
we got to go get all these things.
The flavor was fantastic. It was so tender. You can just kind of like do that thing where you pick up the thigh and kind of like
What was
just sort
the
of-
batter like?
So it's not breaded. It's gluten free actually.
Okay.
And it was still crisp. It had like a thin, crispy kind of almost Korean fried chicken kind of feel to
Oh,
it,
shit.
and spiced. You can see the sort of darkness of the spice on it, and it's not spicy hot, but it does kind of have that garam masala kind of quality to it.
So I was going to cook dinner and now I'm not. Let me just go ahead and text somebody like, so we're going here tonight.
Yeah.
I will add that some people get pissed off when you're like, and it was so cheap, but I think that'll get more people in the door, frankly. Like, I don't think it's bad to mention that something is affordable.
Yeah.
I think that being affordable is important right now. Let's
People
be
will be
honest
like,
and
well,
real.
restaurants should be able to make the money that they deserve, and I agree with that, but I also think it gets butts and seats, and then you develop
Yeah.
people develop a liking for your restaurant in that way. So I don't think it's bad to mention
Yeah.
that.
It's complicated because, I agree with people who are talking about wanting to price their stuff the way they want to price it. I also think that this is unfuckwithable. Like, this is $12.99. Like, people need to go and get it. Like,
I want
get it.
restaurants to make money and profits, obviously, and I don't require things to be affordable, but when they are, I think it's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have affordable food options.
Yeah. Options, exactly. You can
Affordable
have
food
luxury
options.
food, you can have affordable food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to do what's best for them as a business, but like as a person trying to survive right now, I
Absolutely.
would like some food options that I can afford.
Yeah, and that's the thing right now. Like, a lot of people reach out to, I think, both of us and are like, why aren't you guys covering fine dining stuff? Fine dining is really struggling right now.
Yeah.
The thing is that what people are asking us to cover and like kind of desperate for too on the other end of it is like, can you please tell us somewhere that's affordable to eat?
People are dying
You
out
know,
there.
and-
People are in their
I don't-
cars and shit.
I don't think that eating good food should be unobtainable.
Yeah.
I'm not against fine dining, but there's plenty of money in the city as well. Like, we need both. We need to
Yeah.
balance it.
We need both. For
I
sure.
like to cover things that cost $12.99 as well.
I think it's important. Like it shouldn't be unobtainable to have a date night with your bae or something. Like
Totally.
Yeah.
Why
you should
not
be
both?
able to get good food and not be able to pay your bill because of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
It's just being realistic where we're at
exactly
as a country.
The thing about the Columbia City location is it's a window, and they have a couple picnic tables outside.
Great.
So you can sit there if you want, but it is sort of takeout oriented.
Okay.
But that said, I rolled up and got an order and sat down at the picnic table and chowed
And it's
down.
called
It was great.
Spice Walla?
Spice Walla. Yeah.
Okay.
You have sold that very effectively. Also, we
Right.
should have Utam and Akanksha on the show.
I would love that.
We're the owners, yeah.
Yeah.
We on the podcast that we were previously on, Utam was on, and he was a fun guest.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
talking about like spreadsheets and number crunching, and he's very entertaining.
Yeah.
I enjoy him. Mark, what else did you eat?
I went to the Wash and finally
Heard
went.
of it.
Yeah. I finally went to Chamorican.
Okay, great.
You guys, it's
Yeah.
so good.
So they're from Guam, right?
Yeah. And I think there's some other influences in there as well, hence
Okay.
the Morican part. I think there's
Got it.
some
Oh, it's Puerto Rican and Guam. Yeah. Okay.
So I had pernil, which
Good.
is served with red rice, plantains, and a salad.
Italian hands coming out.
Yeah, because that pernil, it was roasty and juicy, and it had the crispy bits that you want to see,
Yeah.
on your pork
Killer.
action.
Oh, God. Now I have to go there today, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I freaking
it
love the
was-
Wash. I love the owners. They're so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done a great job with that space. I was sad
Mm-hmm.
when Rose Temple closed, but in terms of starting something else up, it's former employees of Neon Boots.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
they have kind of created a sort of neon bootsy atmosphere over
I
there.
love Neon Boots. I love those people who work in there.
Yeah.
It's a cool place. I love it. It's cute.
It's supposed to be like Route 66 themed, but in the
Yeah.
60s or 70s,
sort
right?
of like a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas
Yeah,
kind
cool.
of vibe, like a little.
So
giving.
the pernil was
yeah,
good.
it was fantastic.
Cool, I gotta
Super
try it.
juicy. Had this great garlic sauce drizzled over it.
I gotta go try that. I feel like every time I end up at the Wash, it's really late at night. I'm
Yeah.
just totally just drinking.
Yeah, no, he goes late. He goes till 1 a.m.
Really?
Oh, he
Over
does?
there, yeah.
I gotta go try it then.
Yeah.
I love the Wash.
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah, that's great. And there were other things that I wanted to try too. Like he does a Jibarito, which I
Oh,
don't.
wow.
I don't know where else in Seattle you can get a Jibarito.
Yeah,
What's that?
Jose Garzon doesn't make it anymore.
Yeah, it's a sandwich that has, I think it's pork inside, and it's sandwiched by plantains. It's like tostones
Oh, really?
instead of a bun.
How
Yeah.
are they doing that?
Yeah,
Look, I'm in my mind like, what? Like, what?
yeah, it's like full on like a sandwich.
Ooh. Okay, so plus I just need to go visit those guys.
Yeah.
Totally.
I've been a house cat lately. So I need to get out.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
get out.
Aw,
Telling you
that's
some
great.
places to get out to. Yeah.
I've just been like a house cat. But there's so many, like, I love all these folks and I love what they're doing in their spaces. So I got to get out more, support them.
Yeah, absolutely. Meg, where'd you go?
I went to, so I was a guest at the Northwest Cider Symposium in Tacoma at
Nice.
the convention center. I was hosted by Field Day PR in Portland, and that was interesting. A lot of it was for cider makers, so which I'm not. So it was like workshops on what kind of yeast to buy and cider apples that you should plant in your orchard. However,
Would you make cider though? Would you do it?
Well, I'm interested in it now, actually.
Yeah.
But I was one of the few writers there. And so I met a lot of PR folks and owners of cideries and things like that. And so we did a big dinner at Wooden City. And I'll admit that I was avoiding Wooden City because I knew it has a few locations. It was kind of a chain. And it was really good.
Yeah. It's a local chain though, right?
It's Spokane, Tacoma, Green Lake.
Yeah.
There might be another one. And I was just like, I think there was an air of, I don't want to say pretentiousness, but I guess just like really upscale pizza that I felt like it was like if the Spaghetti Factory cost
Stop it.
$50 a plate or something. You know what I mean?
You just got a sense of market research.
I got a
forwardness.
sense of like
Yeah.
an algorithm created
Yeah.
this place. But anyway, we went and it was very, very good. It was wood-fired pizza.
Yeah.
Lots of beautiful side salads, burrata. We did a fried carciofi with this really good dipping sauce, like artichokes. I really enjoyed it. So
Fuck, I'm gonna leave out of here
myself,
so hungry.
yeah.
Like I was like saying I was gonna go to the gym after this, but maybe
Yeah.
I'm not. I might just go eat.
It was in like an old brick vintage building. I went to the downtown Tacoma one. And yeah, it was like Spaghetti Factory vibes, like Hospitaliano vibes, but the food was fucking killer. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and I would go back to Wooden City for sure. The wine was beautiful too. I went to Lonely Siren for a minute and had that Ginja Cola and
Yeah.
chatted with the
love that
bartender.
place.
I didn't have the Batatas Bravas, but we talked about it a lot.
Gotta have that.
Beautiful
Yeah.
spot. I love that there's a little like Iberian sort of clutch. There's the Paris
Yeah.
Madrid grocery, which I also went to. There's Jar Bar, of course, and then there's Only Siren, and they're all just sort of in a cluster there.
Yeah.
And then after that, I went to the Rabbit Box to meet my buddy Bess, and we both had watermelon cocktail. She had an NA watermelon cocktail, or a foxtail, and I had a watermelon YA cocktail. And we just sat and there's like a mechanical. It's sort of like a fortune-telling machine, but it's got like a Donnie Darko looking monster.
Oh yeah,
and you put a quarter in, and it will give you a fortune. And it
Really?
like was yelling about like in a past life you were Lewis and Clark's dog.
Oh, that's
and you braved the
interesting.
beaver bites and mosquitoes, and it was fun. It was art,
I love it.
someone.
I just recently checked that place out too.
It's
I went
cute.
to
So
see Brittany
cool.
Davis.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Have you guys seen Brittany Davis before?
I haven't seen her live, but yeah, she's
Oh
great.
my gosh, she's
Yeah,
so talented. It's actually kind of sick.
She's a genius. Yeah,
She is.
yeah.
I had such a good experience there.
It's cute.
The service was great.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
cute like date night place. It was like we got dressed up. We were on a date.
This
You
is
know,
in Pike Place, so
cocktails.
it's the old can.
Yeah, the old can.
There's a stage. And
Yes. I recommend going definitely for I think it's a perfect date night place because they have live entertainment.
Yeah.
Have good drinks. They have like nice little small bites.
I think it's the owners of the OK Hotel or one of them.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah. It's got lore.
Somebody
Yeah.
from what's that place in Columbia City where they have live music? I think one of the owners.
Royal Room.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 It's a good spot.
Yeah,
I
I think
enjoyed it.
people have yet to discover that on a larger scale, and I think you gotta discover it. It's a fantastic place.
Yeah.
Especially if you like to like have dinner and a show.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh, and then I went to this place in Tacoma called the Living Tap Room, which was 100% not my kind of shit. And again, I really liked it.
Yeah.
You go in, you give them your card, you get a little wristband lid, and it has a chip in it, and you hold it up. There's like 30
Oh,
taps.
one of those.
They get you a glass, and then there's a screen on the tap, and there's a QR code, and you hold your wrist up to the screen, and then you buy whatever you're drinking, beer, cider, whatever, per ounce. So it'll say like Bauman's guava grapefruit cider, 59 cents an ounce. So you could just get an ounce and taste it.
I love that
You don't
idea.
have to get a whole pint, and then
Okay.
there's a bunch of clean glasses.
'Cause I
You
like
can go
to
get a
try
different
stuff.
one. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is hitting me like an algorithm thing, but like
I
you're
was so
selling me
not
on
interested in it, but it was part of the cider symposium. It was like a pre-funk happy hour, and I was like, I would never fucking go to this place. We liked it. Steven
Yeah.
really liked it because he likes different stuff from me.
Yeah.
They had 20 or 30 different beers and ciders. There was a canned cocktail in one of them. I don't know. It was sort of 70s style rumpus room in there.
Yeah.
I liked it. The Living Tap Room. I would go back. Never would have wandered in there. but
Amazing.
It was cool. Did you eat anything this week?
I got to try Cafe Suleiman for the first time.
Nice.
So one of my best friends, she's a sommelier, and she just always knows all the spots to
Sure.
go try.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't realize like that I had met this person before at Homer, and Homer's in my neighborhood, and I love
Suli?
Homer. Yeah.
Okay.
And so we went, and it's in like this kind of like strip mall, not strip mall, but like a little mall building or whatever. And you just wouldn't expect it to be in there.
Yeah.
It's so cozy and
Yeah.
cute and adorable. Like, and all the like glassware is like these like China antique glassware, and the music was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the server was amazing. Everything was beautifully presented.
Yeah. It's sort of Middle Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there was like, Middle Eastern vibes for sure.
Yeah.
Everything felt very fresh and thoughtful.
Yeah. And the wine's beautiful too.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Papineau is the somm, and he's a legend as well. So
I had some
always
great
beautiful
wine.
Yeah.
I had great wine there. I just had an overall great experience. It was just me and my homegirl. It was like our little ladies' night out
Yeah.
together, and we try to get it in when we can and
Yeah.
do that. It was a great time.
It's
Everything
n-
was good. I had some kind of hummus that had like braised lamb on it, and the lamb was so soft and juicy.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It was great. I also had like I don't know why, but like I'm seeing on my internet algorithm a lot beans. Different
Beans.
type of beans.
Nice.
Okay.
Big beans, small beans. They beaning it up with different kind of beans. I don't know if you guys be seeing it, but they're like
I have.
harissa
Yes.
bean, garlic bean.
It's hot right now.
Da-da-da-da beans. And I'm like, okay, so legumes are having a moment.
Uh-huh.
I had some big ass beans. They were good.
Yeah.
They were like
the
marinated.
gigantus, like
Yeah.
gigantus ones.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were like pickled beans, which I
Ah.
like then spread onto some like crusty like sourdough bread or
Oh,
something.
man, and you swipe it up.
And then I was like, there was all this oil, and I was like, ooh. So I kind of felt healthy about it. And then I talked to him because I was like, it's olive oil, so it doesn't count as
That's right.
calories.
it's
and
heart
like,
healthy.
right. But it is calories. And I was like, it's beans. Like beans are healthy. I was like, are they
Yeah.
healthy if they're swimming in oil?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
That's Mediterranean diet shit. You
It is,
got
though.
So basically, I was on
Blue
a
zones.
Mediterranean diet
Yeah.
in the blue zone, enjoying myself.
It is blue zone shit, and I think the blue zones are scams. But I will say, this wasn't a blue zone article I read, but it sort of supported the blue zones. People around the world who eat beans, and it doesn't mean they're in blue zones necessarily. If you eat a lot of beans, you don't get cancer, apparently, and people don't know why.
Nah.
I don't know if it's because you fart out all the
I'm
toxins
sorry.
or
I
whatever
feel like
the fuck.
there's a lot of cultures around the world who eat a lot of beans because it's financially accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Is it that they live a long time for a separate reason that isn't beans?
I don't know.
You're like, they don't
think
live a
it
long
did-
time.
I was like, I don't know. I know a lot of motherfuckers who eat beans and
I'm not saying
They-
that the thing I read is true. I'm saying
Yeah.
I read it.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't know if I guess it depends on how you prepare the beans. Now, if you could,
That I don't
if you're
know.
pairing the beans with a ham hock,
Yeah,
it
right.
might be different than if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
preparing the beans with like olive oil.
Yeah.
Ham hock's going to knock 6 months off your life.
You're gonna infuse it with carcinogens
I
that way or
only
something.
make
I don't
beans
know.
with ham hocks and sausages and stuff. So
But the bean's going to add 7 months on your life. So
it kinda
you're still
cancel each other
ahead,
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're plus 1 month on
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
you're still healthy.
You got to think about the month differentials in what you eat. That's the thing.
okay,
That's what you got to think about.
Yeah.
I don't think about any of that shit
know.
because I'm not a never-ending gobstopper. I'm not here forever.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm just eating whatever I want.
Also, what's the point of living to 111 if you're miserable and sick, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Nope.
I think everything in moderation is fine.
True.
Yeah. Even moderation.
Yeah.
And you also went to a dessert place, yeah? Coach Valley?
I think that's how you pronounce it. Yes, and I want to say it's like maybe a Japanese
Okay.
dessert place. I went there with my sister. We had a girls' night at Capitol Grill because they had this $35 deal where you get a Wagyu burger and a glass of wine. And we were
Okay.
like, that's great.
Yeah.
Also, when we walked in, they gave us a free glass of champagne and
Oh,
they
yeah.
gave us a rose. I was like,
Okay.
Oh.
are you guys into us? What's going on?
Are you hitting on me, Capitol Girl?
I was like, what's going on? This is cute. We were like, oh. But my sister still has the rose, by the way, in her living room. But we left there because the dessert options were kind of boring. It was like classic steakhouse desserts. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
creme brulee, flourless chocolate
just gonna
cake.
say, it's
Death by
always
chocolate.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, flourless chocolate cake, like a tiramisu.
Yeah.
I don't know, just kind of dull.
Yeah.
And we're like, I want something else. So we found this place, it was on Instagram Reel and it looked interesting. It's in Capitol Hill. And they had like this tower of shaved ice, but it's like the fluffiest,
It's like
lightest.
kakigori. Is that what it's called?
I don't know, probably.
Okay. All right.
But it's like so light and airy.
Yeah.
And we got the mango one, and they like give you this mango syrup and sweetened condensed milk to pour over the top of it
Yeah.
with cheesecake bites on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then like bits of mango on it. It was really decadent, but also, again, I felt kind of healthy about it because it was ice. I was like, it's just ice with fruit and milk. Like, this is a smoothie.
Yeah.
This is a smoothie.
Yeah. Super healthy.
Definitely felt healthy about that.
And you said they have like dessert toasts and things like that?
Yeah, they have these. I'm not quite sure what you call these toasts, but if you've seen them, maybe they're called honey butter toasts.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
like big block squares of toast, that's super crispy and stuff, and they're piled up with like ice cream and toppings and stuff.
Okay.
That looked way too big for us after we had just ate a giant Wagyu burger. I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So the shaved ice was a nice thing. But they also have, it looks like they have brunch there too
Okay.
Oh.
with other options.
And that's on the hill.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, totally.
Anything else?
I went over to Hey Bagel.
Oh, you
because
did?
I wanted to try it. And, there's always the line situation there. And on Friday morning, it was finally a time where I could bear that if necessary. And so I got there, and there was, in fact, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Where's
and
this at?
This is in U Village.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So it's a little bit of a schlep for me, but you got to do it. So yeah, it was 9 o'clock. There was a line down the sidewalk quite a bit, but it moved quickly.
Okay.
And so from the time I got in line to being done with my bagel was 26 minutes,
Jesus.
which was pretty impressive.
That's not
and-
bad at all.
And not what
Okay.
I was expecting when I saw the line.
Oh, the line didn't take 26 minutes. You were done eating.
I was done eating.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like
so,
these
start
places
to
with
finish.
lines are worth it, or is it just like line hype?
Well, I think there's a lot of line hype,
Okay.
but I wanted to mention Hey Bagel because I think it deserves its line
Okay.
hype.
Don't be scared of the line.
Yeah, that bagel was real good.
Okay.
I
Italian
got,
hand says so.
I got an everything bagel
Yeah.
with scallion cream cheese. That's kind of my like baseline of bagelness.
Okay.
That's what I like to kind of.
Savory.
Yeah, it's a good control bagel.
It is a good control bagel.
The thing, we talked about this when Edgar was on, and I don't know if I explained this very well, but they bake their bagels at multiple times during the day. So a lot of places in town, they'll bake them fresh in the morning, but that's their supply for the rest of the day.
Right.
Oh.
And what Hey Bagel does and what Backyard Bagel does, and I think maybe a couple other places do, is they'll bake a batch in the morning, and then, maybe a couple hours later, another batch, or just kind of as needed, bake them off throughout the day. And so you're always getting a bagel that is fairly recently baked, and that makes a difference in that particularly baked item. It's kind of
Do
like...
they have a lot of schmear options?
They do. What's a lot? I think they have like 6, 7, 8, something like
That's
that.
a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot to me,
Yeah,
I
I'm
guess.
impressed.
Yeah.
Too bad it's a new village.
I
The
know.
Bellevue Square of Seattle. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
I can't go.
It's a
but
bit of a tough
if you
draw,
go, you
but
could bring me one.
It's worth it if you want to.
I will say I watched The Nosh by Rachel Bell,
Yeah.
our former guest. Steve and I were just looking at the PBS app last night after we were finished watching
Yeah.
White Lotus. Embarrassingly.
Oh, you're watching the new one?
Yeah.
I like the old ones, but I was disappointed about the theme song. I didn't feel like following through.
There's weird music, yeah. Anyway, we caught up and then we're just doodling around the PBS app and we saw Rachel Bell's episode where she's talking to Mount Bagel and Hey Bagel.
Yeah.
And I was like, that looks good.
Yeah.
Like, I'll probably go see Andrew. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I see your point.
Totally.
So I probably will. I'm fronting.
Yeah.
I will go.
Ooh,
I'll bring you one, Lakea.
Okay,
the look
somebody
on
with a
Lakea's
car-
face is like, I'm not going there.
I know I be having FOMO about stuff, but also I don't want to take long bus rides. So
I will bring
somebody
you
with a car wants to bring.
I will bring you a
Yeah.
bag of bagels to Flight Path.
Oh my god!
How about that?
This Flight Path day is getting legendary.
Yeah.
It is.
So we're starting off with limoncellos, orange cellos, and grapefruit
Yeah,
cellos
yeah.
tastings.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
it's Flight Path
Yeah.
with bagels.
With bagels.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This is getting crazy. What else? Like,
Should we invite every person who's ever been a guest on this show? Well, Skip will be there.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is that it?
I think we
that
had
everything
we
we
had a
ate?
time. I got
I'm
more to
way
talk
over
about, but I
time.
think we're.
I got to go meet former guest Karina Long about our cookbook proposal. I think we're finishing it up today, so we're going to send it out.
That's fantastic news.
If anyone listening wants to publish my co-cookbook with Karuna on Cambodian diaspora cuisine, DM me,
That's exciting stuff.
at me.
that sounds great.
Who do we have next week?
We've got Chachi Thomas next week.
Okay,
so
great.
kind of part 2 of a pop-up legend who's gotten out of the pop-up game.
Part 2 on I
Yeah.
Quit Pop-Ups.
Yeah.
What kind of food does Chachi make?
Well, Chachi made pizzas and burgers and sort of like these interesting twists, and he also partnered with Tio Babies a bit for some like Taco Bell
That's
kind of.
right. I did go to their pop up
Okay.
before.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So I
I
think he
went to
was
that.
yeah over at Rose Temple was,
Yeah.
was where they did that.
Yeah.
So yeah, now he's working for Filson.
Yeah, he got a corporate
And,
gig.
Yeah,
Well,
so like
Nice.
doing recipe development, I think making videos too. So super interesting dude. Looking
Got
forward
bills to pay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know him and I've never tried his food, so I'm excited to
Yeah, it'll
meet
be
him.
cool.
Lakea, thank you so much. We knew you would be hilarious,
Yeah.
and indeed you were.
Totally.
it's
All
just
timer.
fun to just hang out with friends. I was nervous, but I was like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just hanging out with homies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks so much, Lakea, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Ta ta. Sorry, I am that person. I am that person who be like, shots. And
I
will
need more
refill your
wine, by the
cup.
way. If we're
I
going to
love
make
it.
fun of Milk
Pass your cup to
Bar.
me.
Thank you, dear.
Yes.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Did I just cheers the microphone?
Yeah.
You did.
That's cool, I guess.
This is a good party, you guys.
It is great.
They need
Take me-
there's more hot honey salmon skewers out there, too.
Oh my god. All right. Yep. Through the loop.
I felt like I was playing Operation.
Let's avoid the board here so I don't
Oh
pour
my God.
Pinot on the board. Okay.